Hello, everyone. I am here with Ilyas Ahmed, who is from Sherbourne, Year 9 in Qatar. He did a project that is linked to the global sustainability goals of clean water and sanitation with a focus on water scarcity. Ilyas, welcome to the conversation today.
Thank you for having me. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think I'm ready.
You are ready. You look ready. So I'm pumped to have this conversation with you. What drew you to the topic of water scarcity?
The main idea was that the fact that I have a lot of family members who have this issue, and being of Somali origin, many of my people are nomads, and they live in rural areas, but they move around in search of water for them and their livestock. But a lot of them have experienced severe droughts, and they've lost their livestock, and they had to move to cities with nothing. But the great thing is that most of them help each other, but not everybody gets help. So that's one thing that really drew me towards this topic, is the fact that I know lots of my family members who suffer from this.
It's a real big problem, and for you to have firsthand experience with family members, it's wonderful that you could shed some light for the world to see what a severe problem this is. If you can just take us back a step, I'm sure that the teacher facilitated a conversation or presented you with a project that evolved into this venture you went on. Can you tell us a little bit about the teacher's project, or maybe the front loading that he or she did?
Okay, so this was in geography, and we started a topic about the Sustainable Development Goals. Mm-hmm. And then towards the end of the topic, she gave us this project to choose one or more of one of the Sustainable Development Goals. And then you can choose a format. It could be like a song or a poem or a PowerPoint or a presentation or a poster, or whatever you want. And then you have to, once you create that, then that's your project.
And did you present your project anywhere, or just in class?
Yeah, I presented it in class.
Oh, we need to find you another platform to present your project to the world, but maybe this is it. So you went on a journey then with clean water and sanitation, and what did you end up making? Like you mentioned all those different platforms. You can do a song or a poem or others. What did you do?
So first I did a presentation, talking about all the different aspects of it. And then I also did a video of me talking through my presentation. And I also did a few posters. And one of them, I sent it to the leader of one of the mosques near my house. And I've sent him a poster before, a few years ago when I was doing a topic. And he put it on I don't know what it's called, but he put it so that everybody could see it on the TVs, when they're coming in the mosque.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I sent it to him again when I was doing this topic, because I knew him personally.
Beautiful way to share it. I love it. Fantastic. So it looks like you did a lot of work, and you had various end pieces that were part of your project. What were some of the hurdles?
I think one of the main things was that I didn't have much time. If I had more time, I think I could have done a lot more. And also, I was really thinking about, I want people to make it to actually, when they finish looking at this, to think, what can I do about this? So I focused a lot of it about how you can help, or what you can do in your house or in your school. But I feel like I could have done more to that, so I could actually make a change.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure something was eye-opening for you as you went on this journey. Maybe an interview with a family member, or talking with your parents, or something that you researched. What was something that struck you as you did this research?
So when I started, I didn't know this, but then when just after I started, my mom told me, when she found out about the topic that I was doing, my mom told me about how she did this podcast with you. And she told me, I listened to the podcast, and she was talking me through it as well. And then everything she talked about. And then a lot of things really caught my eye, she told me about even some of the things I didn't know about my family and what they were going through. And it really did like catch my eye.
And so what do you want the world to know?
I just want everyone to understand, like, just because you have clean and water coming from your tap, that you also have to think about other people's perspective and what they don't have and what you can do to help change that.
And what can they do?
There's lots of things you can do, like small things you can do. For example, like when you're brushing your teeth, turn off the tap, or when you're having a shower, like when you're putting on soap, you should always turn off the shower, or you should instead of washing your dishes in the dishwasher, you can hand wash them because it uses a lot less water. And I usually like to hand wash my dishes, and also, if you can, maybe cleaning your clothes by hand, it saves a lot more water. And also you can check your taps and your pipes for leaks because that wastes a lot of water as well.
So many little things we can do at the personal level, at the household level. What recommendations do you have at a community level or maybe at a government policy level?
Well, if you really have like something you want to say, first of all, you should try and voice it out you can make some sort of thing like I did, and you could put it on a platform where most people can see it, and you can try and raise awareness by like doing something like I did, but putting it out there so everybody can see it.
Yeah. As you talk to your family and your mom and so on, can you share with us like a little case study of one event? I know that you can talk broadly about water scarcity and about the droughts back home and living as nomads. But when we skim that over in like one sentence, people who haven't experienced won't understand the impact of what you understand now by doing the research. So is there like a story you could share that really moved you? Like details of a story?
I don't have like an exact, actually no, one of my uncles, he had been growing for like many years, and then he had like all of his livestock gone just like that because of a drought, and they didn't have enough food and water, and he was going through a lot of struggle. And then that was like basically all his money. That was like his livestock was everything he owned. And then once he lost that, he was basically done for. And lots of people like helped him. But if he didn't have people to help him, he would have been he would have struggled a lot, and it would have been very hard for him.
Interesting. I'm so glad that you're able to study this and get to know your family stories better. As you move forward through grade year 10 and 11 and 12, do you see yourself going even deeper into the study of water scarcity and what you can do for your people back home?
Yeah, I do. I hope I can get more opportunities like this. I will obviously try doing things like on my own without having like a project or something. But also, if I have any opportunity where it can link to this topic, then I will definitely try to do even more. But I'm also going to try like now to do something to raise awareness.
Mm-hmm. Raising awareness is huge, definitely. Do you know of any organizations back in Somalia that are already kind of doing the work that you want to contribute to in the future?
Yeah, I know that UNICEF is like doing a lot to try and provide as much water, and also for all the diseases that can come with contaminated water. I know they're sending a lot of like medical help to try and help some of the people who get diseases from drinking contaminated water. Like they get diseases such as like typhoid or polio or cholera or diarrhea or hepatitis A. And then because of that, they have at least they have some people who are trying, but not everybody gets that help.
Isn't that crazy how we can just go to the tap and drink water, and people in the world, their water is so contaminated that they can get a deadly disease just by drinking water? It's just, it's sad to see that in 2021, like this time in the world. So
yeah, it's very sad.
Yeah, I'm super proud of teachers who facilitate this kind of learning and students who dive deep into this kind of learning, because that's, where change will get generated. Super proud of you, and I know your mom is a big fan and supported you through this journey, and super proud of her as well. What else can you share about your project? If you were to talk to a student who wants to learn more on this topic, what are some websites or documentaries or places they can go to learn more?
One thing that I found that was actually really eye-opening was there's this Netflix thing. There's this thing on Netflix it talks about all the water crises that happened and how they started and why they started and what we can do about it. And I watched that with my mom, and it was actually really interesting. And I think, especially for people who are kind of new to this topic, like these cool ideas and things like that would really catch their eye, and it would be very interesting for them.
Do you know the name of that documentary?
I think it's called World's Water Crisis Explained. One really interesting thing about it was it talked about how Cape Town in the next few years, they're going to eventually just run out of water completely. So to combat that, they decided to shut off water for 4 million people in the country. But the crazy thing is that within the next few decades, big capital cities like Sao Paulo, Melbourne, Jakarta, London, Beijing, Istanbul, Tokyo, Bangalore, Barcelona, Mexico City, those cities will also run out of water. Wow.
And what is there anything being done for this crisis right now?
People do. Obviously, there are lots of organizations who try to combat this, but still, we need to look more into the future and see what could happen if we don't really take even more action and take the further step. And especially also another thing is that underground, that we have lots of water that we can access from underground. But the only problem is it's damaging to the environment and it's very expensive. But some countries still decide to rely on that. For example, Mexico. Mexico takes a lot of water from underground. But the thing is the soil is compressing a lot. So every year, Mexico sinks 8 inches because they're taking so much water from underground.
8 inches?
Yeah.
Every year?
Yeah.
Wow. You are such an intellectual kid, Ilyas. I'm so impressed with your knowledge. 8 inches is scary. I'm just looking at my walls in my home right now and just imagine everything settling 8 inches every year and just the cracks in the foundation, let alone other huge things that could happen with that. Unbelievable. Absolutely.
Yeah, and also it's you have to think about the fact that it's not just around the world what's going on, but also the fact that Qatar is suffering from this problem because Qatar is a desert and is one of the most water scarce countries, and also has one of the highest water consumption rates. And it's still something that we have to worry about because it's not just other countries around us. Qatar also has the thing is that Qatar relies on water from desalination, which is taking salt from salt water, but it's very expensive and it shouldn't be relied on. And it's also harming for the environment because it takes a lot of energy. And so we shouldn't take that for granted because it's not just something that happens around us. It's something that we have to worry about because it's in our country.
Absolutely. And you covered my next question, which was going to ask you about the localized issues around water scarcity. And you answered that brilliantly. There's just about less than a minute left here. Ilyas, thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see if we can pump this wonderful recording out to the world and make a little bit of difference.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity to raise more awareness for water scarcity.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.